hi, I'm Alanda. I'm a 48-year-old mother of 6, a high school teacher, and I am on a weight loss journey. I'm currently using a GLP1 that starts with a T, and I also switch between compound. That's my cat making himself known. So I've lost over 70 pounds in my 15 months of being on my GLP1, and I've learned a few things along the way. So let's set the tone of the conversation. I was at an event and a young lady said, I heard you've been on a GLP1. And I said, I have, yes. And I'm very open and honest, and I talk about it. I got a YouTube channel. I talk about it. And she asked me, which is the first time I really kind of heard someone say skinny shot. Like, I've never heard someone say that in my presence, like, oh, it's a skinny shot. So when she first said it, it kind of caught me off guard. She was like, oh, I hear you on the skinny shot. What? Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, GLP1, got you. Yes, I am on one. And she said, so do you like it? And I said, yeah, I actually do. It's really been a blessing. She said, I'm thinking on getting it. I have about 50 to 60 pounds that I want to lose. And yeah, I heard it's like the best thing out there. So mind you, someone being on the medication for a year, I agreed, yes, it is so great. But in her situation and her knowledge, she was really thinking you just take the shot. That's what made me say, you really got to approach it in one or two directions. So here we go. And people, don't get mad. Don't come for me in the comments. If you want to start a GLP-1 weight loss journey, figure out which path you want to take. Do you want to take this path, or would you like to take this path? This path, you take the skinny shot and you let it do all the work. Just let it do all the work. You don't change your eating habits. You don't start working out. You just let it work for you. And I will be honest, this is not my first GLP-1 weight loss journey. And I have done that in the past. I have taken Saxenda and I was giving that shot every single day. And it worked. For 2 years, I lost roughly 40 pounds until it stopped working. And then I got frustrated and I got off of it. That is path 1. And to be honest, that's how I started my GLP-1. That's why I say we're frenemies. We are frenemies. Because in the beginning of this weight loss journey, which I started February 7th, 2024, we were in the honeymoon stage. I loved the medication. I gave myself the injection every week and the pounds melted. I didn't have to do anything. It was magic. Now, just like any new relationship, there's some rough patches, some getting used to each other. And so, yes, I had many side effects. Sulfur burps, nausea, diarrhea, constipation, leg cramps. Ooh, what else did I have? Eventually, I got insomnia because I realized the back of my arm gives me insomnia. But again, it was a new relationship, the two of us. It was like magic. It was doing all the work and I was just reaping in all the benefits. That's option number 1. That's how I started my GLP-1 weight loss journey. We were great. The GLP-1 was my hero. It was my savior. It was the answer to all my questions. All I gotta do is take the shot and the pounds will melt. Pounds will melt. In the honeymoon stage, at first it was magic. I was never hungry. The pounds melted off. I felt in control. GLP-1 was my hero. I told that to everyone. This is it. This is the answer. But then we hit stage 2 of our relationship. And this is what I like to call the wake-up call. This is when I hit that realization that it's going to keep working, but I'm going to have to work too. Okay? It's working, but I'm going to have to work too. I started increasing my water. I started looking at what I ate. Have I changed what I eat? No. I do not deprive myself. I have too many mental issues to deprive myself. If I want a Snickers, God dang it, I'm getting a Snickers. I may not eat the whole Snickers. I may just eat a little bite of the Snickers. But that is my reward system. I'm going to get what I want. If I tell myself no, then it just becomes more of a craving, and I want it, and I want it, and I want it. And guess what? Eventually, I am going to give in. I am. I know that about myself. Then I had the wake-up call, my realization. I realized that I was relying too much on the medication and not enough on myself. I wasn't eating the way I should have been eating. I needed to get smarter. I learned that the medication is not magic. It was a tool. So once I hit the wake-up call, I started doing things differently. One, I stopped eating on large plates. I started eating on small plates. So portion control. I needed to teach myself how to see what I could actually eat. So I started eating less. I also got a little smarter with how I ate. Because the appetite suppressant was in the medication, I couldn't just, not eat, but I also needed to know when to eat. Okay, because my body cues were off. So I had to wait for my body to say, hey, it's time, let's eat. If you're on option number 1, you don't have to worry about that. Because again, it's kind of like a short-lived, like I'm gonna take the pill, I'm gonna take the shot, not the pill. We haven't got the pill yet. I'm gonna take the shot and it's gonna melt. I'm gonna get to go away and I'm done. Book closed. But remember, there could be a sequel. I'll get to that later. So with the wake-up call, I realized I had to do something different. And so that's what I did. I used the medication as a tool and not so much as a miracle drug. I'm gonna work with it. At this juncture, I started to trust the process. I had to shift my mind for growth. I started focusing on protein, fiber, hydration, and how to move my body. I stopped obsessing over the scale and I started tracking my energy, my sleep, my mood, and my wins. I was finally in a partnership with the medication. And with that, I got to the point where I realized the mind shift. This is the growth that I had in the medication and in myself. I realized that I couldn't just rely on what was going on the scale. I needed to look for my non-scale victories, the things that were happening and transforming for me without it actually being on my actual scale. And that was great. I realized I had more energy. I realized that sleep was definitely important. I needed to get my sleep in. I've never had a problem with my sleep other than my sleep apnea, but I wanted to make sure, for sure, I was getting in enough sleep. My body needed it. So if I'm gonna work with this tool that's costing me $550, I need to make sure I'm stepping up and doing my part. So I did. I started to grow with the medicine, literally. As I increased in dosage, I increased in my ability to utilize my tool. Then I hit the stall. Weeks went by and the scale didn't move. I questioned everything. Was I broken? Was my scale broken? Is the medicine just not for me anymore? I hated so many things all at once because I felt defeated. Then we hit the hate part. Yeah, the stall. So I am 15 months into my GLP1 weight loss journey, but 11 months into my GLP1 weight loss journey, things are great. And then everything halted. Just when I was like, yeah, I got this. It's like learning a new dance and then the instructor throws in a curveball. All right, now we're gonna do a 1-2 step and repeat. That's where the stall hit. I was doing everything that I had learned. I'd used the tool. I was working on the growth mindset. I was doing everything. I started working out or getting my movement in. And I thought this was going to be smooth sailing to the finish line. And it wasn't. I hit that stall. And it tested everything in me. Now, with my other previous GLP-1 weight loss journey, when I hit the stall, I gave up. I did that. I said, I'm done. I quit. It is what it is. I'll just, be happy at the 180, which is where my body stopped. I was roughly around 220-ish, give or take, and I lost the 40 pounds. Ooh, the Texas accent is coming out. I lost the 40 pounds, and when I got to 180, my body just said enough is enough. But little did I know that was a stall. At that time, I didn't know it was a stall, but I did feel defeated. I felt like, this is all we got. And that's kind of how I was feeling on this journey. I even made a video about it. I couldn't even use words. I was just like in a hotel room going, I don't know. It's blah, y'all. I'm in blah world. This is blah. I'll put a picture of the video right here. And you all really came through for a girl. I thank you so much. I mean, y'all were like, Alanda, I'm with you. I'm with you. Girl, we in here swimming together in the middle of this journey. And I was like, I don't like this part. I don't like this part. And you all really helped me to fight the hate that I was starting to feel. The frustration, the defeatment. Like, come on, just kickstart this. Let's keep going. And that's where I am now. I am now pushing through the hate of my frenemy, my GLP1, and I'm now going back to achieve success. Yes, I mean, I had to realize the medication is not a quick fix. I also had to realize I am not alone on this journey. This journey may be unique for me, but we are all going through a journey, whether it's a short-term journey or a long-term journey like myself. I have roughly another 40 to 50 pounds to lose, and we just gonna have to get back to the honeymoon stage. We're gonna have to keep loving each other because I am ready to keep going. I'm ready to push through the stall and move forward. So again, I tell you, if you're new to a GLP-1 weight loss journey and you're trying to decide, do I get on one? Think about this. How do you want to utilize the tool? Do you want to do number one? Let all the medication work for you until it no longer works for you. And that is an option. It's an option. Because trust me, that was me. Hello. Or you're going to put forth some effort and try to make sustainable changes that you'll be able to use throughout your lifetime. I'll be honest. Had I done this when I was on Saxenda, I wouldn't probably be on GLP-1 right now. I would have tried to push through the stall, but I didn't know what I didn't know. Let me just say that. I didn't know what I did not know. And I also didn't have the support of you all to help me mentally push through. And I see for her, the lady I was talking to, this option of just take the skinny shot and lose the weight, I don't know if she would really benefit from a community. I would hope so. And I would hope she would reach out and be like, okay, side effects kicking in. Okay, what is this? Okay, when do I need to titrate up? But I do see a lot of people getting on the medicine, the skinny shot, and they are running through the pill. I mean, like, not pills, running through the medication every month, 2.5, 5, 7.5, 10, 12.5. And I'm like, baby, you 6 weeks in and you at the top. You at the top. But again, their goal is short term, whereas my goal is more of a long-term journey. I got over 100 pounds to lose. Over 100. So it's going to take me a little bit longer, and I'm going to need to utilize tools. So again, don't come for me in the comments. Everybody's on their own stage. I hope this was helpful. It is what it is. I'm in my loving the friendship because I see success. And hopefully my frenemy of a GLP-1, we can get back to the loving stage. We can get back to the loving. I can be on 12.5 and we just rekindle our relationship. I hope y'all are well. Y'all take care.